Howdy. We're just waiting on Kisor.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's in a lobby right now.
Well, this is going to be a high match. Hopefully. A little rematch from some of the finalists in Shred 1. Meeting in the losers bracket. Kisoi dropped down to losers by Kaibi. Marguenka, I don't know who he lost to. Someone. Oh, Jellium. That makes sense. Pool favors Kisoi just a little bit more than Marguenka to the oh, Kisoi's here. Due to the raw stamina requirement on a lot of these maps. But Marguenka's stamina is nothing to sneeze at either. On top of the sheer intensity of finger control on some of these picks, you can see this being at least a pretty close match. Kisoi says, what's finger control? I don't know, like no mod 1, no mod 2, probably. I think those are what you should ban, Kisoi. Alright, we see a DT2 ban coming out from Kisoi. This is pretty expected. Marguenka actually, I think, would just be a demon on that map. I don't know what my dog wants, but she's going crazy. Marguenka banning DT1. Pretty solid ban into Kisoi. That raw 270 requirement and the stamina needed is a pretty safe ban against him. See Kisoi going for a number of things here. We could see a no mod 3, we could see a DT3, we could see a DT4, a DT6. Yeah, and it is the DT3. That map has doubles, so it's actually impossible. I think his last ban. I'm expecting to see anything in the stamina realm. It really could be anything. No mod 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, DT. What? 7, DT8, DT9, DT10, DT11, DT12. All pretty reasonable bans from Marguenka. It's just a matter of what he thinks he's more comfortable on. He does go for the DT 26. Wow, I said every map, and that wasn't one of them. Okay, going in for the Nomad 2. Raw 230 stamina. This is a pick both players are expected to be very strong on. But maybe Marguenka has something up his sleeve. And it's that Keysore's not warm. Cool. Getting into it, we're not really going to see too much in the way of a lead one way or the other until we start to get into these long stream patterns. And Marguenka does find the early act loss, and Kiso finding an early miss. That lack of warm really showing through here on these aim patterns, it seems. And Marguenka pulls out ahead. Does find 100s on that stream, but Kiso trades them right back. I don't know what happened. Marguenka lost a ton of back. I was looking at Kisoy. Alright, getting into this first long stream. Both players not seeming to struggle on the stamina, except Marguenka is struggling on the stamina. Kisoy nailing it effortlessly, and Marguenka just not able to pull it together. Looking like a huge mispick from Marguenka. Just the comfort on this map is not there. A 230 stamina is not unleashed. He may think Kiesler would struggle on the flow-in, but Kiesler's looking very strong, SSing most of that stream there and just holding on to over 94% act, 95 now. Looking pretty desperate for Marguenka. Kiesler would basically have to stop playing, assuming he continues to play as well as he has been. Marguenka does recover a little stamina, but as soon as it starts to get into the spacing, his stamina's dead, and there he goes, almost touching the 60% range here from Marguenka. He's still looking strong on a 94. You wouldn't expect this to have been Marguenka's first pick, but I don't know, maybe he just overestimated his stamina for the day, or the nerves of the first pick got to him. Hey, I don't think there's much more that needs to be said about this map. Just sort of looking to take this very strongly with an over 20% accuracy lead. On a map like this makes a ton of sense. You can either stream 230, or you can't stream 230. Ooh, a little missing coming around Marguenka, which is really going to take a damper on his stamina. Having to make that tiny adjustment just isn't happening with the level of stamina Marguenka's been displaying. Coming on a little bit to some of that accuracy, but it's really going down now. Kisoy strongly at a 95, just cruising through this. Absolutely chilling. No problem. Look at this guy. He's like a shredder. Marguenka does touch that 60% range and completely stops playing. Kisoy almost pulling out a 30% act lead on Marguenka's first pick. Definitely a mispick from Marguenka. I'm not really sure what happened there necessarily. I was expecting him to actually be able to play that fairly confidently, but 230 stamina was not there for Marguenka. This is where that skill cap is really going to start to show, and the Nomad 1 pick from Kisoy, much of the same, more intense flowing, more intense stamina. I'm not expecting Marguenka to come out of this one alive. This is what I was talking about with this raw stamina requirement in this pool. You have to be really good at tapping. Marguenka is. So is Kisoy. Kisoy's better at the Nomad 1, Nomad 2's type. This is a classic Skorost map coming out. Your Dreams 1.4, random D&B remix of some song you've never heard of. And he maps it perfectly to a bunch of streams. Kisoi immediately finding a ton of back drops. Seems Marguenka, but Kisoi is starting to pull it back. Marguenka not looking too bad on these initial streams. Definitely a big increase from what we saw on the last map. Starting to get a little bit tuckered out on some of these longer streams, and the streams do only get longer as the map progresses. Kisoi struggling to hold on to accuracy as well. Both players in the 90% range. Coming out of the first section, Kisoi with a slight advantage. Marguenka finding even more drops, and as the stamina wears through this pick, yeah, there goes Marguenka. A huge drop from him, and oh, it's all out the window now. Kisoi at a 10% ACK advantage. And we start to get into this stronger flow and longer streams. If you don't have the stamina, you're just done for. And Kisoi not looking amazingly comfortable on the stamina, holding on to a 700 combo with only 90% accuracy. Does drop the combo, but still a 17% accolade for Kisoi. Little slow section. Catch your breath. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Hope some streams don't start. So I can say Marguenka doesn't have stamina, and Kisoi does. Well, at least the stamina for this. Oh, here we go. And wow, Marguenka doesn't have the stamina for this, and Kisoi does. It does look pretty solid at the beginning of all of these bursts too. It's just the long streams at 244 are really starting to get to him, and Kisoi just able to pull it out. The flow aim for Kisoi also being a huge advantage. He is a No Mod 2 demon flow aim prodigy. Get to the last part of the map, there's not really too much to say except can Marguenka hold on to the 70%? He's bringing it back, 69, 70. Oh, but it ends with a really big one. Come on, Marguenka, you can do it. Oh, no. That's not good. Kisoi pulling out another 20-something% ACK advantage. What, 28? No, I can't do basic math. 26. 26% ACK advantage for Kisoi on that pick. About what I expected to see, but it doesn't hurt any less. Especially not for Marguenka. His hand probably not feeling great right now. Marguenka going in for the DT5. This is another pretty hard stamina requirement, but more so on the flowing side of things. There's a little bit of a finger control requirement to this, but I don't think it's going to be enough to trip Kisoi up. It's going to come down to who can flow in these patterns better, and they are not easy. This is Marguenka's pick. I'm expecting him to have a little bit of an advantage here, but Kisoi's raw mechanical skill is definitely going to be showcased in this pick. Much as it has in the last two. Alright, here we go. Kisoi not looking super comfortable on the first few patterns. Those 4 bursts definitely going to be getting to him. This guy cannot play even note bursts. There are a number of 4-note bursts throughout the map, which means it might be hard for Kisoi to hold on to combo, but accuracy is a different story because these are odd note bursts for most of these stream patterns. Marguenka is going to find a pretty big break. Kisoi trading it back. Very close in this first third of the map. Going into the second third. The players holding out pretty confidently. Kisoi finding a small break. Marguenka holding out pretty solid. Still a very close pick. Kisoi finding a big drop, putting Marguenka in the lead. Pretty sizable lead for Marguenka here too, but on a map like this it's so fragile. One chain miss and it's just Jover. You have no lead. Marguenka does find the chain miss, but Kisoy trades it back. Both players struggling as these patterns are non-stop. Flowing intense, rapid fire burst, unstoppable sex machine map, and Marguenka coming out with a 2-ish% act lead. Finding a big break though, pulling it just a little bit closer towards Kisoy. Kisoy finding another break. It's going to be pretty close coming into the end of this map, but I think Marguenka has it pretty solidly. There's not too many patterns left, and he has a big cushion. Marguenka does take the point, his own pick. Very nice. Looks like Kisoy a little bit more comfortable on the aim maybe, but Marguenka just able to hold on to that solid 240 BPM tapping. Kisoy going in for a no mod 4. Yeah, this map is hard. If Marguenka was struggling on 240, wait until 250. Kisoy skipping no mod 3. His strategy of going no mod 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Real. You should put on no mod 3 anyway, ready? In my opinion. Those Who From the Heavens Came was the default song of Marguenka's English teacher. It's a pretty good song if you're trying to learn English, I think. Into this map. I just realized I've been commentating this whole thing without any audio. Right, we're
You
just
should have audio.
No, I have it. I just had it muted.
Oh, okay.
Looking like he's practiced this section, holding on to that SS. I don't think this part is timed properly, I'm gonna be honest, but Marguenka says no, it is. Into the first string section, and wow, both players dropping a ton of accuracy, as is expected. Marguenka going to be dropping a lot more, though. This way, again, just with the raw 250 stamina needed for these patterns, and the flowing to boot. We're looking to FC this. Will he do it? 94%? Yeah, he pulls out the 94.7 FC. Job, Kisoy. No 50s. Marguenka, you know, tried. And I respect it. At least it was over quick. DT8. This is the 270 pick. This is one of those cases, I think, wherein we saw in the last shred with the Starstorm map, where all players think it's finger control because there's a bunch of kick sliders, and Kisoy's like, what is this? This is just 270 patterns all over the place. This is easy. But maybe Marguenka has a trick up his sleeve. We're rooting for you, big man. Well, I am. I won't speak for Reddy.
I'm doing shit, bruh.
So real. Reddy needs to sleep. Hey, did you guys know that if you have Twitch Prime and you subscribe to Reddy_5 using your Twitch Prime sub, he gets to sleep. And if you don't do that, he doesn't. You have to do it now. Getting into the map, Marguenka holding on pretty solidly through these first few patterns, and Kisoy definitely struggling a little bit more. The finger control is in fact getting to him. It's also worth noting that these patterns are completely non-stop, and this was single tapped. I don't know what happened. Marguenka dropped a ton of accuracy and not a ton of combo, so he must have like ate shit on one of the streams, but oh, and there's the first miss from Marguenka. He's a little behind Kisoy. Kisoy just unable to hold on to the combo needed, but Marguenka finding many more drops in the accuracy department. Again, not much to say. These non-stop 270 patterns are brutal, and if what we've seen so far continues through this map, Kisoy might pull out ahead just barely, but Marguenka was looking so strong at that first section of the map. I'm thinking it could just be a stamina gap. Marguenka can use the slow section to recover enough, and Kisoy continues to find drops as we go into the harder section. Marguenka can definitely pull this back. Kisoy's lead is beyond fragile. almost non-existent. Wow, these 270 patterns just don't stop, do they? Triple, 5 burst, slider, triple. Rah! Kisoi just holding on so strong though. Not phased at all by it. Managing to find that combo that Marguenka was holding at the beginning, and Marguenka just not really pulling it out as he needs to be. Still a very strong performance coming out from Marguenka, but Kisoi is just holding on firmly, not letting Marguenka take anything from him. Another little break from Kisoi, but it's not going to be. It also wasn't a break. I don't know what happened. I'm going to blame Reddy. So, decent hack advantage for Kisoi, a little bit over 2%. Marguenka finding fewer misses, but less combo and just not the act needed to pull it out. Things are doing things in Terraria, and I need to move my body. Alright, no mod 5 from Kisoi. Another map with non-stop 260 BPM patterns this time. Tons of sliders and tons of stamina. Here we go. These first few bursts are just not looking great for Marguenka. He's able to hold on pretty solidly for the shorter bursts, but as we get into the longer ones, he just doesn't have what he needs. Kisoi just making an absolute mockery of this map, holding on to 97%. And it only just begun, but look at this. 260 is nothing for this guy. It does recover a little bit of the accuracy, but Kisoi is just holding on to that 98 almost full combo so far, which is kind of obscene. Does find a break on the funny slider. Going into the slow section, Kisoi holding on to 97.7. Like, what the fuck? This isn't fair. Does find some break and giving some of the longer bursts. He does start to drop a little bit more accuracy, especially coming in through this section, but still holding on over 95%. Very strong lead. Marguenka sitting at the 85% range. And is not able to hold it down like Kisoi can. Continues to find act drops, but it seems to be more on the left side of the UR bar than anything. Going into this second half, Kisoi at 95.5 and Marguenka at 83. There's not much Marguenka can do to recover this unless Kisoi drops dead in his chair right now, which with his healthy heart at such a young age is just so improbable. Both players opting to cheese the sliders. That's fucked up. Finding a few more act drops, but Marguenka trading it back so damn much. Another one of those maps where Kisoi's insane stamina and extreme mechanics are just pulling ahead. Not much to be said. Managing to hold on to accuracy through these insanely tricky patterns with sliders everywhere. 260 don't stop, and neither does Kisoi apparently. In the last few patterns, Marguenka continuing to find these breaks. Kisoi finding breaks as well, but not as poorly. And it does seem to be a little bit towards its end, but it's not going to matter as he still manages to pull out the 93%. Good score from Kisoi. That intro, that first break, that was insane. 97 up to that point. Difficult, that's for sure. Kisoi did in fact lose stamina at the end, which is to be expected. The amount of stamina picks that have been played so far are kind of unreal. I think we've actually played pretty much every stamina pick except GT7. I guess Nomad 6 and 7 are kind of stamina, but I think they're more aim. I don't know. Maybe GT6 or Nomad 6 is stamina for Kisoi because he has to single tap all those triples. Marguenka in a pretty dire spot here. Down 2 break points. And just struggling to find anything in this match against Kisoi's raw stamina. Expecting to see something of a Omad 3 DT4, maybe, from Marguenka, or trying to single tap abuse him on the DT10, or even the DT11. He does go in for the DT4, although Kisoi definitely still stands a solid chance at this. The CS5 aim isn't really a problem for a guy like him, and just 240 past that. There's a little finger control, but it has more to do with these kick sliders that Kisoi's proven to be all too swell at. CS5 speed is so hype. Thank you, someone gets it. We need more CS5, CS6 maps in general, but especially speed maps. That was pretty sweet, I think. In this first section, both players struggling to hold on to major amounts of accuracy. Marguenka holding on just a little bit better than Kisoi, but it's such an insignificant lead that it may as well not exist. Kisoi kind of just missing all over the place. I'm like, Marguenka too. That was interesting. Players managing to hold on pretty well through these next few burst sections. Marguenka just dropping quite a few more 100s than Kisoi is. Comfort on 240 is there for Kisoi, and this 5 isn't really a problem for a guy like him. Marguenka definitely putting up a solid resistance, but there's not so much you can do when Kisoi's air ranking the map at this point. They're just not even being tripped up by the doubles anymore. Like, why did this guy get better at the game? We're finding more and more breaks. Kisoi just holding strong through that section. And as we go into the flow aim burst spam, Marguenka drops so much act just through everything. Kisoi holding on to a 10% act lead coming through. Really, I think it comes down to the aim. I wouldn't expect Marguenka to be struggling with the stamina on this pick. He is, it's really because of the aim. But this map has aim. And he's still just actually kind of owning. Find some breaks on the 5-burst spam though. Not much that can be said. A very strong showing on this pick. Then the CS5 mechanics from playing all that hard rock and the 240 stamina just being easy for him. I mean, there's not too much to it other than some sliders, but yeah, like him, no problem. That like doesn't even have any patterns left. Over. This with a 94. That's pretty swell. Oh, but does he break it? Does he lose it? Does he lose the 94? I think he gets it. Oh, wow. 94.1 from Kisoy. Another pick where all eyes are on Kisoy. There's not much to be said. It's just able to hold on. Lots of sevens. We love to see that. Lots of sevens. 7, 7, 7, 7. And Marguenka with the sevens. Wow. Brilliant. And Kisoy going straight into no mod 6. Again, this is one of those maps that's going to have a hard stamina requirement, but I think more than anything, the aim is going to be what gets Marguenka. The aim on the ending section of this is absolutely wicked. And Kisoy isn't going to struggle on acting the intro either. This is one of the easier maps in the pool, honestly, but that last section is just so silly with it. Plus, it's a good song. It's starting out slow on this map. About 230 beats per minute. It's going to ramp up to 260 by the end. I don't expect to see too many problems from either player on the beginning. Marguenka does find a slider break. Doing to find some drops, and yeah, the aim is really getting to Marguenka on this map. Steady! Map has aim! So just holding strong on like 1/100. Like 230 is nothing for this guy. Here we go into the speed up section. Patterns are getting a little faster. The aim requirement is getting steeper and steeper. And people just not wavering in the spot. He's assessing all of these patterns. Also, the speed up section is like later. This one does find some breaks going into the speed up, going all the way down to 97, but Marguenka's chilling at 91. And the map only gets harder from here. Aim requirement is really going to be what's getting to either one of these players, I think, but so just not struggling. Getting into this burst spam can determine it all. If we see some big chain misses from Kisoy, Marguenka can pull it back. Marguenka looking to be the one to find all these breaks. Nothing 2% accuracy in that section alone, and there's one more burst spam section coming up here with just non-stop triples and flints with 2 game requirement. Kisoy even finding a single miss through that whole section. Going through a little more, finding more and more misses. Dropping more and more action. Marguenka doing much of the same, and manages to finish out with a 93% to Marguenka's 88. Solid performance from Marguenka for certain, but not much you can do when Kisoy SS is the first half of the map. And that is also the match. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Ready_5 will be live with another match as soon as it happens. God bless America.
Which is later. not today. But thanks everyone for watching. I'll pay out the predictions. A lot of Kisoy believers. Bye.